Okay, so a couple weeks ago, I did give my testimony about sharing at work, and I vaguely mentioned how I was kind of thrown onto the COVID unit. And, well, when I found out that our facility had positive cases, I was kind of freaked out, I'm not going to lie. And I sent Pastor Jeff the article that was on WLFI, because that's how I found out. And I said, this is where I work, and we're probably not going to come because there's a good chance that I've been exposed, and I don't want to risk bringing it to church and sharing that lovely germ. So I got a response back from Pastor. He said, if you're sick, stay home. If you're not sick, live your life, wear a mask. Don't be afraid. And so that was a Tuesday. So I had to schedule my COVID test for work, and I had it scheduled for Friday. But I looked on my schedule, and I saw that I was scheduled for the 200 unit, which we called the ground zero. It's where everybody with COVID was staying. And I was really nervous about it. And so I went to my scheduler, and I'm like, is this going to change? Because I don't want to work here. I don't want to work there with small children at home. And she said, I'm sorry, right now I don't have anyone else. Everybody else is sick, and I need you. So I said, okay, I'll do it. And Thursday comes around, and I start noticing that my eyes are itching, and my throat has got a tickle in it, and I just starting to feel like I got some allergies going on. I'm just like, I'm fine. There's no big deal. I'm fine. And I take my test on Friday, and I go to work on Saturday, and it's one of the hardest shifts ever. Everybody's sick, and you're doing as much as you can. You're running up and down the halls trying to help everyone, and everybody needs help, and there's nothing else that you can do for them. You're doing all that you can. And I remember saying to one of my coworkers, if my test comes back negative, I'm not working this unit again. It's not worth the risk of taking this home to my kids. I don't want to have to see them go through any of this. So I went back on Sunday because I was scheduled on that unit still. And I worked a 12-hour shift that night. And by the end of the night, now keep in mind, we're wearing full PPE, so a gown, gloves, mask, and a face shield. So it's already kind of hard to breathe. But by the end of that shift, I was really feeling kind of bad. My chest was like, I felt like I had a bag of bricks on my chest, and it was hard to breathe. I couldn't take deep breaths, and if I did, it was like I'd go into a coughing fit, and my nose was running, and I felt terrible. And so I get out to my car at the end of the shift, and I'm just sitting there trying to breathe and de-stress a little bit, and I get a ding on my phone, and it's an email from the testing site, and it says, you have COVID, your test was positive. I was completely gutted. I just sat there and I sobbed. Not because I had it, because I knew the risks of myself getting it, working that closely to everyone that has it. But I just thought about my kids and how I'd been around them already. I didn't want them to get sick because I've seen what everyone had gone through. Thank you. So I cried the whole way home. And then when I got home, I texted Pastor and I said, hey, my COVID test was positive and I'm sick. Can you please keep my family in prayer? And he was very encouraging. He said, don't be afraid. Separate from your family, stay in a separate room, sleep in a separate room, and wear your mask when you go into the bathroom or anywhere where they're going to be, and make sure you wipe everything down, and think on good thoughts. I don't know about you guys, but when you get into a situation like that, it's very easy to let those negative thoughts bombard you. But he said, think on good thoughts, find some healing scriptures and speak them over yourself, and pray and lay hands on yourself. And he said, I believe within 48 hours you're gonna feel better. And so I did that, And I actually found a 17-page document on healing scriptures, so I could just read them all over myself and my family. And so within 48 hours, this is about the 48-hour mark, I was starting to feel a lot better. My lungs weren't hurting as bad, and that cough was just back to a tickle, and I was feeling a lot better. And Jason says, "Miriam, I need your help now." And I go out there, and sure enough, he has the same symptoms as me that I had. And I just felt like God was telling me, it's going to be okay. Put away your sick bed, walk in your healing, and take care of your family. And so I did. I went out and took care of them, and I really had to put my trust in God that He would heal us and protect my children. And praise God, none of them got sick. So it was about a week of recovery before I decided I was well enough to go back to work. And I went back to the COVID unit. And I realize now, I had said I wasn't going to go work that unit. That was probably my first mistake. But I realize now that if I hadn't tested positive, I wouldn't have worked that unit again, and I wouldn't have had the opportunity to lead that dying man to the Lord. And I wouldn't have had the opportunity to pray with the sick, the ones that were really sick, and to watch them get better. And it's been about a month where we have not had any positive COVID tests in our facility. That's employees and residents. And so I just feel like God, He allows us to be put into hard situations so we can learn to trust Him and heal us and bring glory to His name.